church family, thanks again for joining us for today's Daily Connection. It's Thursday. I hope that you were able to join us at church last night. Our students, I hope that if you're watching, you were able to be a part of our house groups. This week, we're continuing to talk about the nature of God, and we're going to get into a part of the nature of God, some things that He offered to us, a lost and dying world, something that He offered to us to kind of show His nature. So we're going to be here, John chapter 1, and we're going to look in verse 17, where it says, "For the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ." And again, that's not a whole sentence. Brother Brent looked at the first part of that sentence yesterday. But this just little fragment, "For the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ." I think it's important for us to first look at that idea. The law was given through Moses, and the law was clearly what we see here is that as our writer is separating the law from grace and truth. The law is not grace and truth, right? Salvation is not found in the law. That doesn't make the law bad, though. You know, I think a lot of times we want to rep the grace of Christ, but we don't want to look at the consequences of sin. And we don't want to look at the place where we learn sin, and that is the law. In fact, it was great grace that God provided the law. Now, the law is not grace, but He was showing grace. He was showing mercy to the world, to all of creation when He offered us the law, because the law was a teacher of sorts. Without the law, we never know that we're living in sin, right? His people don't know the expectations that God has for them, that He has for us, if He doesn't give us the law. So the law is important. The law helps us understand right and wrong. The law helps us understand that sin exists, and not that just sin exists, but sin exists in us, right? And the fact is, as we learn that sin exists in us and we can do nothing to remove that sin from us, we realize that we need someone to do that for us. We're not capable, and we need a Savior. And that's why he puts this second phrase where he says, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. Through Christ, we have a full and complete understanding of the law. The truth of the law and its purpose comes out, and not just that, but grace. Grace for us, grace for people who cannot live up to the expectation of the law. And that really is the perfect picture of God's character, right? We see that He is perfect, that He can have no sin in Him. But we also see in His nature that He is loving and that He is merciful. And He offers us His Son so that we don't have to be sentenced to separation from Him for all of eternity. But instead, in spite of us not living up to His expectations, we can have a relationship with Him because He sent grace and truth through His Son. So our author gives us a couple of questions that we can look at. The first is, how does the law show our need for a Savior? How does the law show us that we need a Savior? And that second question, how is Jesus the expression of both God's grace and truth? Church family, I hope you'll work through those questions. You begin to have a clearer understanding of the nature of God, why He sent His Son, why we have the law. And as you do that, we want you to know that we love you and we're praying for you.